What's up, guys? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. September 16th was a really slow day as we approach a very highly anticipated Fed meeting. But there's also some chaos going on in oil. So today was a tiny green day. I made a little bit of money on NTEC. It's not even really worth discussing. This NTEC, guys, had a big day on Friday. We came in here looking for a little bit of continuation and a little bit of follow through, and we got up to test Friday's highs, but we're not able to extend. I got long NTEC right in here, and I took some profit off the table right in here because we were right at Friday's highs, and I was looking for a little bit more follow through and extension, and then we rolled it over. And when we rolled it over, I got flat the rest of that position. So I was only able to take 25% of the position off the table up here. Never got any follow through. So when we rolled it over, I sold out of that position. So not really anything to write home about. Long at $1.28. I took some off at $1.37. So it was small green day for me. So really the main reason for this video is to go over what's going on big picture. What are some of the fundamentals that are affecting the market right now? What are we expecting out of the Fed? What's going on with oil? And before I get into that, I want to let everyone know that tomorrow is TGG Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I open the chat room up free for everyone. Tomorrow is definitely a day that you're going to want to come and chat and see what it is that we're talking about and how a Fed rate hike, a Fed rate cut, a Fed rate no decision will affect or move the markets in what directions and what you should be trading off of that news while the Fed meets the next 2 days, and then what's going on with oil. Because there was an attack on a Saudi oil factory or oil plant that greatly cuts into the global production. It's about 5%, I believe, of the global oil output was affected by a drone attack from Yemen. Okay, on the Saudi oil field, oil plant factory. Okay, so that spiked the price of oil. Oil was on fire today, no pun intended. And we have to see what happens if there's any retaliation from Saudi Arabia or if they just get production back online in a couple of weeks, and then the price of oil should pull back in and settle back in. But before I get into all that, tomorrow's TGG Tuesday. Go to truetradinggroup.com, upper right-hand corner, click on TGG Tuesday. You will get a link that'll give you access to our chat room free the entire day. You're going to see my screen. You'll see what I'm doing. You'll hear me on the microphone breaking down my analysis every step of the way, what I expect to have happen, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Come in, say what's up, shoot me a private message. You can ask me questions during the day. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, so again, that's tomorrow, truetradinggroup.com, upper right-hand corner, click on TGG Tuesday, register, and you'll get a link that'll give you access to the chat room. All right, I love to see you guys there. So tomorrow should be a good TGG Tuesday. Even if I don't really expect a lot of action in the market was very quiet today ahead of this Fed decision. You're not going to get a lot of people that are going to make big bets in a directional move in the market before we get this rate decision. The last couple of Fed meetings have been very highly anticipated because we're finally getting action. We're getting movements. We were getting rate hikes, then now we're getting rate cuts. We've been stagnant with our rates over the last 10 years or so, and now you're starting to see, this action. Now these Fed meetings are highly anticipated. The market's pricing in and is expecting. Well, I may not really priced in yet, but is expecting a 25-point basis cut. And if we get that, that should push the SPY to all-time highs. As I take you guys over to the SPY, we'll go out to a daily chart. Okay, I'll zoom this in. You guys can see we are awfully close, okay, to all-time highs. So here's your all-time highs. We kind of double topped here last week. We had a little gap down today, and now we'll see what happens with the Fed decision. I do not expect a big red day tomorrow. I don't expect a big green day tomorrow. I expect another low volatility type of day. If you guys look at the SPY today, you can see the SPY today, no real action, no real direction. We basically just kind of traded sideways with a little brief sell-off late morning. Then we kind of bounced it back and then traded sideways. You can see not a lot of of volatility, the markets were very slow because of that today. So there really wasn't that much action. That's why after that one trade on NTEC, I just kind of shut it down for the day. And I was actually looking at a short on DRIP, DRIP. Okay, DRIP. Oh. Okay, guys, this is the S&P oil and gas 3 times bear. Okay, and so like I said, with the price of oil exploding, so we'll go to here, USO, that's the United States Oil Fund. Okay, you can see this big gap up here today. Go to the daily chart. You can see there's your big gap up with what happened with Saudi Arabia. And then we go to DRIP. Okay, and then I'll go to the daily chart on DRIP. Sorry. Okay, and then you can see we had the big gap down here today. So I was looking at a short on this DRIP, and I just, we were just kind of moving, like trading sideways in the morning, and then, right at lunchtime, I was actually getting lunch. We broke down and then just rolled this over, and I missed that trade. So the trade really never triggered for me in the morning, and then it did it right in the middle of the day during lunchtime, and then we just sold off really aggressively. And this is a big move, guys, from 58.5 all the way down to 50.5. You're talking about an 8-point move in a matter of an hour and a half. So what I think is going to happen here, guys, with oil is you just have to see if Saudi Arabia retaliates. If Saudi Arabia retaliates, it could push the price of oil higher. If they don't, eventually, maybe a week or so, or who knows, eventually, it's not going to take months, okay, maybe a week or so or a couple of weeks, they'll get that production back online, and then the price of oil should retrace and then settle back down, I think, in the 50s where it was prior to pushing up towards $62, $63 a barrel, which it was today. I think it will eventually correct and pull back in as long as Saudi Arabia doesn't retaliate. They have not really been, they're not known to retaliate in a military sense to stuff like this. I think they might just kind of go about their business, get production back online, and keep it moving. But if they do retaliate, then you could see oil up in the 70s, and then in that case, you would see DRIP continue lower and possibly get down towards 40. So keep that on watch, guys. This DRIP trades very similar to how JNUG trades with gold. JNUG is the junior miners for gold. DRIP is a very similar ETF, but when it comes to oil and gas exploration. Okay, so I'm looking at this DRIP. It will be kind of front and center for me. It has the most range out of the oil ETFs. The opposite of DRIP, if you can't short DRIP because it is hard to borrow, you can look at Gush. Okay, Gush is the opposite of DRIP, but you can see the range is very, very, very small. Much less volatility, much less range on the Gush ETF. That's why I like DRIP. So if you guys can try, put that request in to get a borrow, because if oil does continue higher, you should see DRIP continue lower. Okay, so that's really kind of what I'm going to be looking at over the next couple of days. I'm not going to be in 6th, 7th gear tomorrow or the day after. I'm really going to wait for that Fed rate decision, because you want to make sure you are in the game for the Fed decision. You don't want to reach your max stop loss. Okay, you don't want to put yourself out of the game before that rate decision, because once we get the rate decision, whether we either the street expects a 25 basis cut, I think there's a chance that they don't cut. I think that there's a chance they just stay unchanged. If we get a cut, the market probably goes to all-time highs. If we don't get a cut and they just stay unchanged, I think you'll see a pretty nice pullback in the market. And you want to be ready to trade that volatility. So I'll be all over SPY call options or put options based on what the Fed does. And then based on what Saudi Arabia does, I'll be all ready to either go long or short this DRIP. It's in play. The volume is well above normal. And the range on this thing moves $10 in a single day. So the range on this thing is fantastic, provides really good opportunities. So you guys want to make sure you come and chat tomorrow. Teach You Tuesday. It's free. Say what's up and see how we navigate these markets. Keep things nice and easy over the next 2 days. Like I said, I don't expect a lot of action until we get a Fed decision. So be smart, keep it tight, be disciplined, wait for those setups, and keep yourself in the game for that Fed decision. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.